Hi everyone, this is Megzable69 with Take the Red Pill. I feel like maybe I've gone off topic a little bit, and what I mean by that is from the things I originally wanted to start talking about, I kind of veered off a little bit, and I am going to get back on track, trust me. But I feel like I need to address one more issue that that a theist, possibly a Christian apologetic, I don't know. I heard him say today. I saw a YouTube video, and it was actually quite interesting. Now, this individual turned around, and I'm looking down because I wrote down some of the things that this individual said, and so I just want to kind of reference them and just speak about them a little bit. So, this individual turned around and he was blasting all atheists. And he was saying that, atheists, they run on emotions. And, he was using all sorts of derogatory formats against atheists. Now, another thing that he was accusing atheists of is going out there and trying to force their views on other people. Here's the funny thing. He also said that Christians don't do that. I would have to strongly disagree with that. And let me tell you why. Me personally, I've had Jehovah's Witness knocking on my door numerous times. I invited them in, but nevertheless, they come knock on my door numerous times and try to really sell me what it is that they believe in. I've had Mormons do the exact same thing. So, there are a lot of people who do stuff like that. A lot of Christians who actually try to push their views on people. And I'm sure there may be atheists out there, or agnostics, or humanists, just non-believers who may do the same thing, and that is unfortunate because we should not be trying to push each other's views on other people. Now, with that being said, the way he blasted atheists and categorized all of them, that would be about as bad as my categorizing all Christians. Now, I could turn around and say that all Christians, they want to push their views on people, and they all foam at the mouth and fall down on the ground and speak in tongues and do all this crazy nonsense. That's not fair to say, because Christians involve a lot of Catholics, Baptist, Pentecostal, you name it, and then they do not all act the same way. I know plenty of Christians personally that do not try to push their views on people. And here's the funny thing, for the way he blasted atheists, the way he blasted a group of people, if anybody really understood the whole thing of being a Christian, which comes from Christ, I'm not saying that Jesus Christ invented Christianity, far from it. But what I'm saying is, if they're supposed to be followers of Christ, the thing is, Jesus did not do half of the things I see a lot of these people doing. He did not turn around and blast people. What actually he has done, though, he's corrected people when they've said things. He's like, well, no, not really. Case in point, they were eating and cooking food on the Sabbath. People were hungry, they had to eat. Well, a lot of the rabbis, I believe, I don't remember exactly what it is, if it was other rabbis or Pharisees or whatever. Actually, I think it's Pharisees now that I think about it. They came around and they told him and said, you're committing a sin. You're supposed to rest on the Sabbath. So he turned around and asked them a logical question. He said, which one of you, if your child fell in a well on a Sabbath, would not go rescue that child because it's a Sabbath and you're not supposed to do any type of work? They all walked away. That was a logical sensed question that he asked them. None of them were able to answer. And so this is what I find happens a lot today, is there are a lot of theists, and again, I'm not saying all, but there are a lot of theists out there, Christians, that strongly believe in what they believe so much that when you ask logical questions, they tend to flip out. They end up getting upset and coming up with all these new accusations, and they just take things to a whole different level. And honestly, here's the thing. There should be equal dialogue on both sides. If somebody who's not a theist has questions, they should be able to ask those questions, and for the Christian to not get upset and blow up in their face. You know, but it doesn't happen that way all the time. So anyway, let me get to some of the things that this guy was saying. He was saying again, like, he said atheists are defending their emotions, and then he said, quote, "They don't like it when the God we believe in slaughtered innocent babies when they don't even tell anybody why," unquote. End quote, excuse me. Here's the funny thing about that. Number one, who cares? And when I say who cares, I'm talking about who cares about the why. He clearly kind of sort of admitted that, well, the God that we believe in slaughtered innocent babies. Now, I can't think of any rational explanation that one can give for slaughtering innocent babies. Can you? No. So here's the funny thing about it. Something like that to me is what I would consider to be immoral. It is not moral by any means that you can turn around and slaughter innocent babies. It doesn't make it, I cannot think of any rational explanation one can give to say it's okay that you can slaughter babies. When innocent babies, all they do is just cry because they want some food or attention, or whatever the case may be. Now, the other thing that he kind of related all that to, he said, he spoke about how the U.S. bombed Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and atheists don't care about that, but yet we care about God slaughtering innocent babies. Well, here's the thing. No one said that people did not care that Hiroshima and Nagasaki happened. I mean, I can tell you that I don't really agree with that, because that's like carpet bombing. You just, blow up the whole place, and innocent people will, there'll be casualties. Granted, that's what you call collateral damage. However, on a mass scale like that, no. It's one thing if you're defending yourself and somebody is shooting at you and you shoot back and the bullet kills them but it still goes through them and injures somebody else. Okay, collateral damage. You did not intend to do that. But if you turn around and you take a bomb and you put it somewhere where it's going to blow up, regardless if there's enemy or innocent people, well, that's a different story. However, that's just me. That's just what I think. So pretty much this guy, he was ranting and raving, and what it seems like he was doing is pretty much just whining about, how atheist things and things of that nature. And it's like, well, when you start whining and you start complaining, who's running on emotions now? Now, this individual, and not just him, but even others that I've seen, they run on what I call an argument of inertia, argument from inertia, excuse me. And what that is pretty much is, you've believed something for so long, and even though somebody may possibly present to you, evidence that proves otherwise, you're still going to continue believing what it is that you believe. And that's fine. Everybody is entitled to believe what they want to. However, when in face of evidence you turn around and you still want to justify atrocities, then that is something totally different. That does not make sense. And so one thing that I do find is very similar cases where theists are asked just logical questions and it just doesn't go well with them. He also at the end turned around and say that atheists are going to hell. Now, this is a classic example of the final threat. They have nothing else to say, so that's their only thing that they can say to make them feel good. Or, well, you're going to hell. Okay, well, I guess the first thing is one needs to prove that hell actually does exist. And not just the fables that's told in the Bible. One has to prove that hell actually does exist. And here's the thing. If one of the things that this individual said also is something to the effect of, well, when we find out at the end that God exists, that's, we're doomed because we should have listened, we should have believed. Well, here is my thing. If God is truly all-knowing, all benevolent, then he would be benevolent enough to know that there are people who do not believe because of what they, the lack of evidence, and therefore it doesn't mean that that person is bad. And so to sit there and throw somebody into eternal torment just for not believing, that is not benevolent. Now, all-powerful portion of it is, if he's truly all that powerful, well, why doesn't he just come show himself? That would just end the story once and for all. Even if it was somebody who did believe or did not believe, there would be proof. If he came down and say, here I am, that would be the proof that, okay, he exists. And now that would definitely stop all arguments. However, not everybody in the world is an idiot. And people in the world do like to stick with reality. And reality is what Take the Red Pill is all about. If you remember the movie The Matrix, Neo, who's been searching for the truth all his life, just like a lot of other people, a lot of skeptics, ends up finding reality. Now, he was offered the blue pill, where he can go back to Fantasyland and continue living the rest of his days there. Or he was offered also the red pill, where the only thing that was offered is just the truth. And that's what we're faced with today. Are you going to take the red pill, or are you going to take the blue pill? There are people out there, many people out there, who want to take the red pill, who want to know the true meaning of things, and who want to see reality for what it really is, and not in the eyes of superstitious beliefs or fables. And so, all those who want to take that red pill, there are plenty of avenues for you to do so. Just simply open your eyes, look at logic and reason, and start questioning things. Not questioning things in the sense of questioning your faith, but just look at things in a skeptical manner and say, how does this make sense? And does this fit moral codes that we know would be right or wrong? Until next time, everybody, this is Megzabo69 with Take the Red Pill. We'll see you later.